presidency is in. The White House billionaires in white sheets. Is it the end of America? Maybe. Come on, y'all, it's time to flee. Flee, flee, flee to a country that protects me.
Welcome back to Flee. We're gonna expand on some things that we talked about last time, and of course, at the top of the show, we're gonna respond to some of your comments.
And if you're new here, we are a U.S. Canadian couple looking to relocate from Southern California to British Columbia, BC as they call it.
Right.
Real
right.
natural.
Yeah, that's one thing that people are confused about. You weren't born in America, but you are an American citizen.
Yes, I am a
Citizen.
dual citizen of Canada and the U.S. That makes it a lot easier for us to relocate to Canada. John is a U.S. citizen, but can become a resident through a special residency application. So that's what we're working on right now, trying to gather everything we need to submit that application.
Yes, it's a complicated form with a lot of margin for error. So, we're gonna have to just nail it. Today's episode's all about why we're taking fascism seriously. So, we just wanted to go over a few things that might have been misunderstood last episode. So, some viewers said that we're not appreciating Canada enough.
I felt a little shaded by that. I have a lot of appreciation for Canada. As much as I can appreciate any colonial nation state that exists in this world, I think it's one of the better ones if we're ranking.
Sure, and if we're talking about like pop culture and stuff alone, stay tuned, because in this episode, we're gonna name very specifically some stuff that we like about Canada. So take that.
Yeah, you thought we were done?
Nope.
No, there's more.
There's longer lists and more specific lists.
A couple of people said that we were satire, which we are not. We are not satire. If you're here because you think we're satire and you love it, welcome.
Come on through. We don't judge. Whatever.
What else?
We are not Biden lovers.
Yes, please do not slander us as fans of Joseph Robinette Biden.
I mean, I voted for him, but he also was like the best option. So I don't regret those votes.
But make no mistake, in this house, we regard Joe Biden as a war criminal.
Yeah, a piece of shit. And also connected to that, we're not Democrats.
A lot of people...
Not Republicans.
Yes, we're not Republicans. But I think people see a binary. They say if they're on the left, they must be Democrats. But I think it's more complicated than that. How would you define yourself?
Well, I grew up in a house with one Democrat parent and one independent parent, and so when I turned 18, I signed up as an independent because I thought it was cooler that my dad did that, and like it was a mystery. He could vote for anybody, which, you know, obviously, you have to pick a party for the primaries, but yeah, I wanted to do that because, yeah, I'm a leftist, an independent thinker, and not somebody to do something for a party. So, you know, the Democrats aren't exactly enticing.
I've called myself a socialist, a democratic socialist, since I was in high school, though I have aspirations of being an anarchist and just leaving behind electoral politics altogether.
So yeah, we're gonna start with some serious topics. The first question is, what is fascism? Why are we concerned about it? A few of you seem to not understand what fascism means, so Graham's gonna fucking explain it to you, because they're the nice one.
Why don't we take this outside?
Britannica calls fascism notoriously difficult to define, so I won't define it. I'll prove it. Since the day he slithered down that golden escalator, Trump has weaponized fear and turn the powerless into targets. He blames immigrants, Muslims, trans people, anyone but the billionaires robbing us blind. He built a movement where Nazis feel safe, where hate isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. He's flirted with war in Panama. He's fantasized about annexing Canada and Gaza and Greenland, and he's tried to overthrow democracy more than once. He's quoted Hitler, praised Hitler, and slept with a book of Hitler's speeches by his bed. And yet, people still hesitate to call him a fascist. Stop gaslighting me. And now, in his second term, the mask is off. ICE is storming into homes, snatching thousands, deporting immigrants and US citizens caught in the crossfire. He's vowed to deport millions more. He means it. He's rolling out executive orders to erase trans people. He's forcing the entire government to pretend they don't exist. Services denied, passports revoked, borders closed. This isn't bureaucracy, it's violence, and it's only getting started. Fascism doesn't fade, it spreads. It doesn't compromise, it consumes. If our story can offer even a flicker of guidance, a way forward, we'll share it. Because fascism thrives on fear, and we will not live in fear.
You must be exhausted. So let's address the concern our audience brought up that maybe Canada is worse.
I think this is honestly bullshit. Canada and the United States are both struggling with similar things: inflation, lack of housing, lack of job opportunities, the effects of climate change. There's so many things that we have in common. And I mean, we currently live in the desert where jobs and housing are also scarce.
Just like almost non-existent, and LA wasn't much better. We both left there within the last 3 to 4 years, and
It's really hard to find work in the entertainment industry right now, wherever you go. So we're kind of making our own opportunities, finding work where we can, and that's what we're gonna have to do in Canada. And find the work.
Yeah, to afford ourselves a little peace of mind about other things is like the point, so that we can continue our struggle as millennials who just want to follow their dreams. So, and yeah, like you said, we'll make it work anywhere. One of our structures in our filmmaking as independent filmmakers is that here in the desert, we've put together a very familial crew and cast kind of situation. People staying in close quarters and eating family-style dinners, etc. And I look forward to not only bringing those people to Canada for shoots, but expanding that family in Canada.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of filmmakers in the Vancouver area who we're going to get a chance to meet and collaborate with, and that's something to look forward to.
Our connections to Canada. It's funny when people watch a video and then they just assume that they know everything.
Right? And I know most of you are just watching 45 seconds, so I can see the stats.
You can see them, so that's embarrassing for you guys. So first things first, I think we went over a little bit, but let's just clarify. You were born in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is in what country?
Canada. That's right, I am a Canadian who recently became a naturalized US citizen. I have a Canadian passport. Hopefully soon I'll have my American passport, and I should be able to move between the two countries with ease. That, I understand, is a very lucky and privileged position to be in this moment. We're taking advantage of the opportunity that we have to live in Canada without needing a work visa, without needing a student visa, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just a stroke of luck that we have that option. A lot of people don't have that option, and we recognize that it is not an easy thing to uproot our lives. Another thing to mention is that we had a registry for our wedding, and that's helping with a lot of those moving expenses. So don't start any rumors that we're rich. We're not. We have the generosity of our family and friends to thank for a lot of the ability to do this.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have the support of our community and our family and friends that way. We were able to donate a portion of our wedding registry to Rainbow Railroad. They're doing incredible work helping LGBTQ people resettle from environments where they face violence and oppression all around the world.
Rainbow Railroad. You know, not only you, but I am of Canadian heritage. My father's uncle was a Canadian war hero. They don't like war in this household, but whatever, like, the fatigues were pretty nice. So we have connections to Canada, and then also
Canada was just an iconic place in our childhoods. I remember visiting family in Vancouver, just being an extended part of this Greek-Canadian family that was based in Kitsilano.
I guess I wasn't exactly a child, but when I was 18 and 19, I went to visit my friend at McGill. And so in sort of a very impressionable soft frontal lobe time, I went there and like had a very Canadian experience and saw these sidewalks with giant like ice, 4 feet of ice on the sidewalk, which I'm from Boston, so it takes a lot to shock me with ice and snow. But so yeah, an iconic place.
Toronto's an amazing city. I've had the privilege of visiting there several times for Toronto Comic Arts Festival, where I would table with Massive Goods back in the day, selling gay manga to Canadian comics fans. So that was a fun experience.
Gay. Nobody's gonna know what I'm gonna reference here, but when I was a child, I went to this opera camp many times, and one year they had a play called Aunt Betty, and this camp did only like Dracula, Pied Piper, like all these like stories, you know, but the guy who ran it had one original story, one original musical. They're really a glorified musical, not an opera, but it was like this story of these people in Nova Scotia, and it was a rivalry between towns. Bona Vista was one of them. See, I'm gonna have Canadians crawling at my ass about this, but it was very impressionable because it was all about their fishing culture and their sort of like folk songs. And it was a real story too, because Aunt Betty was like a city slicker that came into their sort of country town. So I really loved being in that opera musical, and it was very impressionable on me, enough to have me still knowing the Canadian national anthem, which was how the play ended. Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, you're an iconic Anne of Green Gables head.
I'm an iconic Anne of Green Gables head, yeah. True. I just grew up with it. My sibling Al, shout out to Al. I grew up with the 1985 Kevin Sullivan, the ones that played on PBS, and they like give away a doll and, you know, all that stuff. I grew up with that playing over and over again. We never got the VHS. We just had a recorded version of it, and we really were obsessed with the storytelling. I still think that the stories and the characters are influential on my work, though I would be fine with somebody saying I don't see it, but it is. I think there's a lot of heart in those characters, and I love like just stories about every day.
It's the ultimate slice of life Canadian period piece. I love it too. And you've introduced it to me, so I have you to thank for loving Anne of Green Gables.
Sure. We've watched the Japanese cartoon.
Yes, there's an anime from the 70s that's very slow-paced in like this beautiful and weird way. A couple favorite authors I wanted to mention include Joshua Whitehead. You're falling asleep. He's the author of this book, Johnny Appleseed, and a collection called Full Metal Indigiqueer. And he writes these amazing sort of personal stories about life as an Indigenous queer person in Canada.
Man, that one's fine. Who's Gord Hill?
Gord Hill is a historian who's written several comics, including 500 Years of Resistance, which tells the story of many different Indigenous uprisings.
Canadian TV shows.
There's a lot of good ones. Sensitive Skin is this great show with Kim Cattrall about the dramedy of aging, basically, and it's set in Toronto, which I really enjoyed. Orphan Black, a great sci-fi...
It's a clone show.
It's a show about clones.
Genre is clones.
The genre is clones. There's comedy, there is drama, there's action and adventure.
I think it's the most iconic, briefest cut of a trans man character. It's just like, oh, we didn't want to do that.
Yeah, they had a one episode appearance of a trans clone.
Yeah.
And then said this fake facial hair isn't working.
Yeah. She-Hulk, no he-Hulk.
Trans representation aside, it is a great Tatiana Maslany show, so we have to appreciate that.
Yeah, she Tatiana.
Tatiana.
What the fuck is Sort of?
It's this great 3-season show by Bilal Baik. I am probably fucking that up. And it is basically about being a young, non-binary queer person living in Toronto and trying to navigate work, society. A really sharply funny show and great non-binary representation. It's created by a non-binary person, so that's how you gotta go.
Sort of, on a non-binary network near you. Now that we've proven to you that we like Canada enough, what does it mean to be trans and non-binary under Trump's fascist regime?
Fuck. That's a real hard question.
A little plane crash of a question.
We're a couple weeks into Trump's second administration, and he's targeting trans people every day. It feels like every day there's another executive order, another policy to not use pronouns in any emails across the government, to not use the word gender in any research funded by the government. It's overwhelming, honestly.
Yeah, it's a time where we're seeing a lot of people of many different ages across the queer community have different reactions. I've seen a lot of people being like, why would I leave now? Things have been that bad. Totally fair. Whatever you feel is right. But I do think that my brain space has not been good, and some of the most sensitive souls, but also the smartest people we know, want to leave or have left, and life is short, and I just don't want to be under such pressure every day.
The mental state is such a big part of it. We've had a decade of Trump at this point since he started running, and now it feels like he's inescapable, and the people he's brought into the government are horrendous, and they're doing things that are illegal and insane.
So it's bad is the answer. And yeah, to clarify, Graham is a non-binary person.
I'm an NB.
And I am a trans man who was born a little baby girl, like Nicole Kidman.
Like Nicole Kidman.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
Doesn't pay attention in movies. Yeah, no, I'm a trans person. I'm a trans man. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have to explain myself. But just as a queer person, everybody's under the threat of these policies, but especially people that have been through sex change operations.
I think that's the politically correct term. Yes.
And that's, I don't care. It's what they're saying too. People who've been through medical transition, it's definitely a different ballgame. Yeah. So why this move is about survival and community? Well, we've told you. We said we're gonna build the community there, and we're gonna still be alive doing it.
That's the main thing. Just feeling safe.
Okay, great. I love what's happening here. Final segment for us right now.
So why do we want to build our life in Canada?
We have talked about having a bunch of friends live in a commune and, just having a raspberry bush and, clothesline and making it simple and making it work.
Yeah, we have always wanted to create a space that we could share with other people, friends, people in the queer community, whether that's here in the desert or in the forests of British Columbia.
I don't think that they're gonna understand what we mean by this, so let's show them. I do have something that'll help us. Here, come along.
We were gifted a box of gingerbread by our dear friend 80 Fake. There were somewhat stale dots and confetti and frosting, and everything was pre-baked. You think it will be easy to build a gingerbread house, but the frosting, it's hard to work with, and the design hard to figure out. Forgotten in the oven, we preheated for a pizza. The powdered sugar went up in flames and melted into goop diva. Make a Canadian commune, first out of gingerbread. Frost what is in your head, then make a Canadian commune. Invite all your friends, plant raspberries and raise some hens. Make a Canadian commune, first out of gingerbread. Frost what is in your head, then